I'm sure everyone asks you about being a beauty pageant queen. And I know you talk about it in stand-up a lot.
Yes.
But I read something that may not be true. But if it is, I'm obsessed with it.
We all know that everything on the internet is
I know
100% correct.
Wait, did you never do a real talent? Did you wear a wedding dress?
Now, introducing
Your house right now reminds me of like the whole Buckhead neighborhood of Atlanta. It's very much like this.
I feel like that's what Catherine Blanford has been here, and she said that too.
Yes, it's very, very Buckhead-y.
Yeah, I feel like when
cozy and cute. Yeah.
I was like, I could live in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I really like it. Well, I'm so happy you're here because I feel like we got you just before you're leaving town to go back to Atlanta.
Yes. So technically I have to, my body will physically be in Atlanta for moments tomorrow, but then got to go to a wedding in Mexico this weekend.
Oh my gosh.
Which is why I'm leaving the fest early. Okay. So that's
a good reason.
Yeah, I was in that, this fest only comes around like every 2 years. Yeah. And I was going through like an existential crisis of course, a wedding that, money has already been spent on is happening at the exact same time. And I was like, where am I going to be more missing out? Like, am I going to be here sad that I'm not there? Or am I going to be there sad that I'm not here?
But it feels like you made both of them work.
I said, ¿por qué no los dos? That's what I said.
I feel like when you choose to do like your own thing, also I feel like other things come up and like just work out for you.
Well, yes, I was going to go the opposite direction. It was like every time you get a thing for yourself, something comes along to destroy the thing that you.
But I do feel like when you say no to something, it's like really empowering to be like, no. I remember the first time I got a movie and then I said no because I was already supposed to be like in Greece for a wedding. I know in Turkey, what doesn't matter, but I was like, I think I'm going to go say no to the movie and go to Turkey. And like I felt like good about my decision. And then I didn't regret it until maybe 10 years later. And then I was like, wait, should I have done that movie? Like, what if I did the movie? Like,
or like as soon as that couple gets divorced and you're like, I shouldn't have gone
yet. I'm like, I didn't really know them.
I barely even knew those people.
Like getting a movie these days. I feel like back then I was like young and I was like, like it was like
I'll say no to this one, but I'll get one next week, so it'll be fine.
It was like before the pandemic and the strike and like when you were just like getting movies.
Yep.
It's not really the deal.
It's not the deal.
It's not the deal.
That is not the deal.
Yeah.
That is not my deal. I don't know what your situation is, but it's even though being in Atlanta, I mean, we film so much in the Southeast, which has been one of my major decisions. I mean, this podcast is about, I guess, what decisions and like
and like going full out and
things
like
and going full out into things. And I had to make that decision at some point. Living there and being from Georgia, because I've obviously always, for the last 14 years of stand-up, people have been like, when you come to LA, when you come to LA, come to LA. And I had to make that decision. Like, do I continue to build on what I have put all of my time and effort into over here, where I'm getting all of the, breakdowns every time things come through, and I feel like I would be starting over again. Coming to the other coast, and I had to say, fuck it. I'm like gonna put my roots down and stay in Atlanta.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I remember that when we talked too, you were saying that was probably like a year or something ago.
I think so, probably.
And you were like, I don't know. I just don't know. But I love that you like decide. Also, like nobody's working here. They're leaving to work. So it's like.
That helped the decision. Because when I was like waffling for a while and I was like, well, I'm post-divorce. Like I can kind of do whatever now. And I think that's probably, I'm sure what we were talking about was I was like, well, now I'm a free bird. Like I can leave more.
Yeah.
Or just go, uproot and go. And then watching everybody like slowly leaving, I was like, well, what am I doing? Why do I want to pay more?
Everybody's moving there.
Yeah. Right?
Or like, everybody's moving there.
They're coming to Nashville. They're coming to Austin. They're coming to Atlanta.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I was just in Nashville. And before I left, even my husband and I like started looking at houses. But Marco's from Switzerland. And like, I just don't think he can. I think he would do it. He's like game for things. But like, he's not very like country at all, And like, he's like, I can be country. I was like, no, you can't.
No, you can't.
You definitely cannot. And please don't even try.
But I love that he thinks that he can. I love that. That's all we need in this.
He can't understand a single word of a country song. He speaks English perfectly. He hears a Southern accent and he's like, I don't speak English. I don't know what you're saying. Like, he will not. He'll be like the ESL student. Like, my husband, I had to explain to him one time what boots knockin' meant. Like, if he doesn't know what that is, he cannot move to Nashville.
You can't move to Nashville.
If
oh
you
my
have to
God.
learn that post 35 years old, you can't move there.
You can't move.
No.
No.
But I also kept joking that like my cousins are all in Arkansas and my daughter loves it there and my daughter loves Texas.
Wait,
and
what part of Arkansas?
they're in like Fayetteville area.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And
Not far from Bentonville, which I love.
yeah, they're really
Bentonville.
close to Bentonville.
Yeah.
And which is like the weirdest Walmart movie set
For the
town.
people who don't know, it is so bizarre. It's like Truman Show, but for Walmart employees.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Like I had never been there until a few years ago. And I grew up my whole life going to Arkansas to visit my cousins in Oklahoma. My grandparents are from Stillwell, Oklahoma, and like lived on like a ranch kind of farm.
You have to. I think that's mandatory. I think.
Yeah.
If you live in Oklahoma, you have to live on a ranch.
You do. They like, my grandfather worked in oil and like my grandma and grandpa both were born in this tiny town in Oklahoma. Then he worked in oil. They lived everywhere in the world, like Egypt, like South America, Alaska, like all over. I don't know if they lived in South America. I lived in, whatever. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't
This
matter.
is a podcast
No one's
about you.
fact-checking. Nobody.
Anyways,
But I just want to hear all the ways that my ancestors made bad decisions. So no, this is great. This is great. Tell me all
ended
the.
up
Tell me how they made their oil
They-
fortunes and lived all over the world. No, it's great.
But then they decided when they were like retired to build a house in Stillwell, Oklahoma, which is like a tiny town that
Yeah.
had like, it had a Walmart and it has a Walmart.
Well, it has to have a Walmart once again.
And that's
by
it.
law.
You know, like tiny, like, and I just loved going there
Yeah.
so much growing up. And then my cousins lived 45 minutes away in Arkansas and I loved going there too. And I see my daughter like loves going there. And I still love going there. I love those cousins.
And
so
you're
fun.
really hitting an important thing, going there and not living
Not
there.
living there,
Right.
yeah.
I think that's the important part.
I think that's the thing. But then when I went to this Bentonville town,
Yes.
after going to like Arkansas, like I was like, what is
this? Yeah, it's pretty wild. I've now spent 2 solid weeks there.
2 weeks in Bentonville?
Yeah, because they have a
film festival?
podcast, a comedy festival there now.
They have a comedy festival
Yeah,
now?
Sam Talent and
Oh.
Raj Suresh and Cass Sparkman. They run Big Diamond.
Okay.
And it's in Bentonville, and I've been in it the last 2 years. And it's a fantastic festival. So if it's ever comes across your table, say yes.
It is so cool.
Yeah.
But also like, okay, so
It's bizarre.
It's bizarre.
It's very bizarre.
because it's so pristine.
It's so perfect. It's
so
idyllic. It makes
it's basically the Walmart heirs. I always want to say his name is Walton Goggins, but it's not.
Sam Walton.
Sam Walton.
The Waltons.
The Waltons.
The Walton Goggins.
The Walton Goggins.
Walton's Goggins.
Yeah,
Yes.
Walton's Goggins. What if I just started this rumor that Walton
that
Goggins
Walton
owns
Goggins.
Walmart? It's just
They'd
like
be like, that does sound right. It is.
he
Walton's.
does. It is Walton's Walmart. Oh my God, that's so funny. I feel like
We did this in the Airbnb the other night. All of us comics were sitting there, and someone tried to say Walton Goggins, but they said Walter Goggins, and then somebody else was like, no, it's Walton Groggins. And it's like and then we were all fucking it up on purpose so much that nobody could remember how to say the name, right? And then by then you're like, what is it actually?
well, my husband
Sam Walton Goggins. Got it.
Sam Walton
Okay.
Goggins,
Understood.
heir to Walmart.
Heir to Walmart. Got it.
Well, we call him the Gog because my husband was like Walton Goggins moved from LA to like, I don't know, he has like a ranch somewhere now. Probably in Bentonville.
Probably Bentonville. I heard him recently in a podcast and I can't recall, but yeah,
I think it's upstate New York somewhere.
Yeah,
his
but he's from Georgia.
Yeah, he is. That's why I feel like he could own Walmart. He could definitely play Sam Walton.
100%. I want to see that's the universe that I want to see.
Me too. I want to see Walton Goggins.
Yes, I want the Danny McBride like universe.
Plays one of the grandsons.
Yes, yeah.
Who's just like
That's what I
why
want.
can't somebody make this movie for us?
We can.
Somebody,
can.
yeah.
We have
make
to know
this
somebody.
happen.
On the street, we could walk outside and ask. We could say anybody down.
Yeah, anybody want to make this genius movie
who
we
wants
just
to
thought
invest?
of? We don't know the plot. We just know the casting.
We don't need
And
it. Hey, the
that's
plot's
it.
none of my business. I just need an investor.
The plot is
We
none of my
got it
business.
cast. We're ready to go. We're in it, obviously.
Yeah, we're in it.
We don't know where, but
I don't know. One of us is.
we're like shitty stepsisters of one of the Goggins. We came in, our mom wanted to take the Sam Walton Goggins money.
Yeah, totally. And we're like, no, I feel like that one of us has to be the sister.
Yes.
The Walmart. There is one girl.
Yes. There's at least
There's one girl.
There's one girl in the group.
Yeah.
But
I
she
love
can't be at the top. It's a whole thing. Listen, we'll figure it out.
She works in like medical something now. She's actually trying to do good in the world.
She's trying to do good in the
and
world.
everybody's like the girl.
The girl.
Sister who's
And she's
trying
like,
to,
I'm
save.
a surgeon.
I'm trying to give everyone universal health care.
They're like,
And
we're rolling back prices to save this country. She's like, I'm literally saving lives. I think this is a great idea.
I think it's a really good idea. But also, this is, you know who we should pitch it to? Okay. Apparently, so there's 3 grandsons, I think, or something, who live in Bentonville, who are billionaire heirs to Walton Goggins. And they, the Gog. And they, if you pitch them an idea and you say it will happen in Bentonville, they will fund it. So I went to this cafe in the middle of the woods in Bentonville that's like you have to get there by like hiking or bike path or something.
That sounds right. It's a huge biking community and specifically mountain biking community because the Waltons are really into biking. I know this because my ex was a mountain biker, and so I used to travel around all over the country and to go. Anyway, so I'm very
Sounds
familiar.
fun.
Very familiar.
Do you want to talk about it?
I don't.
No, but my cousin even went and pitched them, like, you know how they do heli skiing where they'll take you to the top of a mountain in a helicopter? He pitched them that for biking, mountain biking, and he had like drawn out all the paths and stuff. And they're like, we love it. We're actually already doing it. So they have that there.
That's
But
not
they
a surprise.
have a film festival. I think we pitch them our movie.
I think we do.
Yeah.
I think that's what we do.
That's what we do.
We don't even enter the festival. We just go. We go to visit during the film festival. And we
we like find somebody and talk to them.
And we tell them
it's a
our
small
idea.
town.
Yeah.
I love it. I love this for us. Okay, well, I guess maybe in 2 years you'll be seeing me on Lace Larrabee.
That's right.
This is Lace Larrabee, by the
hi.
way.
I don't know where the...
Well, you will put your name up before, but anyways,
perfect.
she's a hilarious comic. I met you at a festival and then saw you at something. I don't know what that thing even was, but it was fun. And you're so funny.
Thank you. So
And
are you.
Thank you. I just think you're so cool. I think your story's so cool. I don't know exactly what you want to talk about going full out, but I do have a couple questions for you about.
Please.
I'm sure everyone asks you about being a beauty pageant queen, and I know you talk about it in stand-up a lot.
Yes.
But I read something that may not be true. But if it is, I'm obsessed with it.
We all know that everything on the internet is
I know.
100% correct.
Wait, did you never do a real talent? Did you wear a wedding dress? Is this true? No. Okay. Where did I read this? Somewhere on the internet says Lace Larrabee never did a real talent.
They can't let you do you have to do a talent for your talent portion. So no, I have jokingly, this could be like AI taking interviews of me and turning it into bad information, but I have regularly joked that everyone else had a real talent and I was doing comedic monologues.
Okay.
So everyone else is doing like opera and ballet on point and piano and violin and, you know, there was also some like shitty tap dancing too, but you know, there was people who were doing like what's considered a talent.
Yeah.
This is acceptable.
Yeah.
You know, you sing, dance, play an instrument. That's an acceptable talent. And then I was like, well, I mean, I had taken like some jazz classes and enough dance to get by. And I was like, I could put together a half-assed dance routine. And I was a cheerleader. I was a cheerleader for 14 years, which I don't know if we've 100% talked about it, but I did competitive cheerleading for several years and I went to college.
What team were you on?
Went to the college that I went to because of cheerleading.
Whoa.
So I did all-stars and so I was varsity competition basketball and football for all 4 years. and then I was on a traveling all-star team for 2 years called Cheer South out of South Georgia. And then I went to Kennesaw State University, who were the national champions at the time.
Cool,
and
but they did UCA,
this
right?
connects into the UCA, one of the competitions. But this actually connects into the pageant story, so I'll bring that back. But so in the Miss America system, you have all of the categories you have to compete in, and you have, you've got a private interview that happens that no one ever sees, and that's in front of a panel of judges.
Oh my God, how do we get to see those?
You cannot.
That's the thing.
They never release those. Wow. Every now and then, like I remember back when I was in the system, there was always like a secret VHS making its way around, amongst the pageant girls, and it would be like the recorded interviews from Miss America the year before, and like if you were able to get like a version of that, a ripped version from that, then that was gold, because then you could see how the interviews actually happened at the top level. And then you would study those and listen to how they did them, because it's a press conference style interview. You were at a podium, you were in a suit. There are 5 judges. Oh yeah. Yes. You were in a fancy lady suit. Okay. High heels. You were in there. You've got to be prepared for every single type of question you could possibly be asked. Everything. Like what? Everything that's happening in current events. That could be political. It could be anything, any current event that's happening. And then some judges would like be a palate cleanser. So you'd be like, what would you do about if it was right now? Like, what would you do to end the war in Iran? Like, literally.
Oh my gosh.
Nothing that you, what they're looking for is that you have an opinion. Yeah. They want to know you have a stance and you have an opinion, and you're not like waffling on things, because once you get the job, the interview is actually that was the highest score in the whole thing. This thing no one ever even sees on stage, because your job, once you get the title, is to travel and speak. You are now a representative for that organization, and you go around and you do speaking engagements the entire year until you're getting ready for the next. Like if you win the local, you prep up until the state. And then if you win the state, you've got to prep until the national pageant. But everything in betwixt, as you are holding a title, you are a representative of your charity, because everybody has to have a platform, and you are a representative of that organization. So you go around and you speak on behalf of the Miss America organization to schools and civic organizations and all of that.
When did you start doing it, though? How young were you?
So I started doing pageants in general at 13.
And did you want to do it? Were you like,
I chose to do pageants. Okay. So yeah, it wasn't.
I really wanted to do pageants too, and then I got
so surprised that you didn't do pageants.
I know. I feel like I give
pageant
like
girl
pageant
energy.
girl vibes.
Yeah.
Weirdly, my daughter was in a wedding as a flower girl with 11 other flower girls, and
like,
they were getting we were all like putting something in their hair upstairs, like in the hotel in Beverly Hills, and I started to be like, we're going to win this thing. And I was like, what is wrong?
Oh my God,
what
it
is
just
like
comes
taking
over
me?
Like,
I'm like, oh my God. I told my husband, I was like, the day I'm like, we're signing her up for pageants, hold me back, because I think that is inside of my body. I think it's something she would get into. She's like, a sparkly dress. Yes. Like, I mean, this is so dark, but I was obsessed with John Benet Ramsey. Thought she was like the prettiest person I've ever seen, and I was like, I just want to be her. And I was like, I really was like, I want to be like John Benet Ramsey.
I feel like she would have been our age. I think you and I are around the same age.
Sometimes I joke that like I'm actually her all grown up. She didn't die. I like to start that conspiracy. I'm like.
That's the movie.
Yeah, that's the second movie we pitched. They're always like, just bring in something else. Do you have anything else?
Do you have anything else? Like, I'm actually John Benet Ramsey. Like, your next general. That's it. You just. All right, let's just roll with it. I'm and they're like, wait, I don't know. We can just go with it. We can act like you just start acting like, just start adding that to all of your bio. Put that on your Wikipedia.
Should I just change my Instagram bio to John Benet Ramsey?
Real John Benet Ramsey. Oh my God. Okay, this is going to lead into the darkest thing that I could possibly say on a podcast. Okay. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. Okay, because I've also like already jumped around so many times. I'm in my head. I'm trying to keep an
ADHD
pin of what I need to get back to, like the categories of pageants, how I got in, how it connects to cheerleading, all of these things.
Okay.
And the fact that I did actually have a real talent. We'll get back to that.
Okay. Whatever the internet is saying.
I'm trying to.
The internet was saying you did it as kind of like, I'm not going to do what everybody else is doing.
That is why.
Okay.
That is why. Yeah. Like I said, I could have done a half-assed dance.
Okay.
Gotten out there and, but when you're in the Miss system, like once you get to I started at 13, but I got into the Miss system if you either are 17 as a graduating senior, you have to be like going into college.
Okay.
Or 18 and up. Like you have to be, like you can't be 17 and 11th grade and try to do the Miss system. Right. So it's 17 to 25 is the age range.
Okay. And that's like the Miss America, Miss Universe.
That's Miss America. Miss Universe has nothing to do with Miss America.
Okay.
These are two very different systems.
Oh.
Miss Universe doesn't have the talent portion. It was the one that was owned by Donald Trump for a long time. It's a pay to play pageant. So
really?
you enter by giving them money. You sign up and you give them money and you can pick a title. Miss America, you have to win your local title against other girls. And sometimes it takes many, many years to like win a local. And if you don't within that range of the age cutoff, then you don't ever make it. But
it's like real competitive college cheerleaders versus like Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders.
There you go.
I feel like that's the difference.
That's
it's
literally
like, don't categorize us
how
as the same.
I have described it to people. People are like, so like the Dallas Cowboy. And not to say what they do isn't
it's
awesome.
Like,
everybody wants to be a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. Who doesn't? But what they're doing is
not
nothing like collegiate cheer.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
So it's exactly
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Miss Universe is.
I love that. I never would have known that. I do know that.
Professional cheerleading compared to, yes, that's exactly what it is.
It's like sideline cheerleaders compared to.
And nothing against it either, because their age range is higher, like their cutoff age, their age out age. And so when I was done with the Miss America system, I actually did like the Georgia USA system a few times for funsies, because I was like, I wanted to keep staying in shape and have a thing to look forward to. I was like, I want to get back on stage and do it. But I could get like a business to sponsor me, and I'm like, can you pay my entry fee and then go and do it? But Miss America, you don't pay. It's scholarship. You win scholarship money, and the only thing you pay for is you buy. You provide your wardrobe,
which is expensive,
unless your board provides your wardrobe.
I thought you were going to say unless you're bored and you make it.
That's hilarious. Also, unless you're bored
that's what
and
you
make it.
Say.
That's so funny. I'm picturing like your pageant board, like your directors and stuff. Because once you win a local and you got to prep for Miss Georgia, all boards are not created equal. I went 4 different times, and I had like a board who had no money and were in the middle of nowhere in South Georgia. So like their sponsorships were not going to be the same as like the one that I had in Cobb County in Georgia, which is one of the highest paid preliminary scholarships in the country.
Which
in
is
the
like
country.
How much?
Okay, so I want just the local. I won the local to go to state. You win in scholarship money, not actual money. But $26,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
At 17?
At that 18? One I won at 22.
Okay.
That was the biggest one.
And that's for like your wardrobe? And
that money just went to my scholarship. Like that went to school.
Oh, to school.
Yeah, it's all scholarship money. So it pays directly to your school. And if
I thought it was like beauty pageant scholarship money. It's not that. It's like goes to your actual
it's the largest
college.
Provider of college scholarships to women in the world. It's
is
the Miss
that why
America
you
organization.
Did it?
Yes. So I paid for most of my college like doing pageants.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
So people don't know, like they just see it and they're like, oh, you get on stage and you prance around and it's, you go to Miss Universe. It's so good.
I got a cheerleading scholarship, so I did like the same, cheerleading paid for my college.
Yeah.
I didn't pay a single thing for
amazing.
College because of that.
That's
but it's
amazing.
like, it's so funny to be like cheerleading or pageants, like are things that people don't think.
This is why it all ties in together.
Okay.
Because I went to college. I picked the college I went to cheer because I made the team. And I was the first person from my high school to have ever go to college to cheer.
Okay.
And then they didn't really provide a scholarship, but you got benefits. Like there were things like you got better house, like discounted on housing, and you were like, I can't remember. This was so long ago.
Yeah.
But all those details. Well, I got
maybe
there.
Your books were paid for.
Yeah, like there was something, but it wasn't like they didn't pay your tuition. But I remember it being beneficial. So anyway, I got in, and obviously I moved up that summer so we could go to camp and start everything and start working on whatever, routines or whatever we're going to be doing. And I, for the first time, got a block. I got a tumbling block.
Oh, I had that.
And it sucked because I was a freshman and you're already holding on to your spot. You're already so thankful that you're there. And there's all these other girls who've been there for years. And, and I think that the pressure and everything got to me, and I got a mental block, and I suddenly I could still do a standing tuck, but I could not do and I could do round off back tuck, but I never was like a really great, like the best thing that I could do was a standing back tuck. I could do them all the time. I would do them like at foul shots and stuff all the time. And I had a really great vertical. Anyway.
It does matter.
I could not do a back handspring anymore. Could not. For the life of me, could not. And so
I just to clarify for people who don't know, it's not that your body couldn't do it. It's like your mind won't let you do it.
Yeah. Could not do it anymore. And I don't know what happened. I know it was the pressure and everything else. I'm sure. Looking back, it makes sense. I feel like
then they didn't talk about mental blocks. It was like, because I got it in middle school and then I got over it. It was like horrible. My coaches used to yell at me and be like, you're just doing this for attention. And I wouldn't leave the gym because I would not let myself flip backwards. And I could like do backflips in parking lots since I was like, 8 years old. Like I would do it on the concrete.
I threw standing back tucks on the concrete constantly.
Me too.
Constantly.
And I like think about it now and like I still have a bit of like, it like freaks me out so much. And then I went to college and it came back and I was on a scholarship and I lost my scholarship the last year I was there because of it. Because I could, and I was kind of like, I cannot fight this anymore. And like now looking back, I'm like, well, clearly shit was going on in my life at both. It's like never the actual thing. And like if we would have known there was like deeper emotional stuff happening, I probably could have gone to therapy and like worked on what's happening inside, not just like I went to a hypnotherapist when I was in middle school.
Oh, wow.
I would like live in the gym just like crying because I wouldn't let myself. And I got this like weird tick where I would go to do a tumbling pass and I would have to like look to the side.
Yep.
And then I would sometimes be like, oh, I have to just turn in a circle. And then I would look to the side like 15 times just to like kind of clear my mind.
I had a couple ticks, and if I really thought about it, I could probably remember them all. And then I remember almost everybody had their own little weird little ticks that they would do because you start to get, it's superstitious at some point and you're just like, okay, if I don't do these 3 things, then I'm not going to hit this.
I thought I was going to stop in the middle of the air. That was always my fear.
Wow. Yeah.
Because I did do it once.
I've seen people freak out like in the gym and freak out.
And just like stop midair.
And land on their freaking neck.
Yeah. And
I've seen it.
When you're little, you do it and you bounce back up and then you get older and you're like, I just was always like, I could die. If I stop, I'm going to die. If I stop, I'm going to die.
Yep.
And you actually could die.
You actually could die.
That's where I'm like, that's the difference between like Dallas Cowboys and competitive cheerleading is like, you actually can die.
You actually can.
And
people break their necks regularly.
Yes, all the time. And it's like so scary. Yeah. And I think once your prefrontal cortex like locks in, like in college
and now you're
time,
aware.
and you're like, oh, I could die doing this.
Yes.
And then you're like, oh, fuck.
Your inhibitions kind of go away and you're like, oh, this is okay. So this ties in because I got a block and then my coaches were like, Lace, come on. This is like, you gotta get over this. And then they got me some extra gym time with one of our tumbling coaches. And so I was doing that. It wasn't stopping. And then they were kind of like, we're going to have to bench you. Like you're going to like turn into like an alternate or whatever it was at the time. And you wouldn't be like on the main team. And I had to, if you can't get this together. And at the time I was already holding a title. I was holding my hometown title, Miss Tatnall County, which was my first title that took me to Miss Georgia. And this is obviously I'm still talking about the Miss America system where you have to like, you work your ass off to win the local and then you carry that title for a year. You're contractually obligated to go and speak and all of that. So I already had all of these commitments back home. I'm 18. I'm in college. I'm on this cheer team. I've got all of this pressure on me. And I thought, okay, I've been cheerleading since I was 7 years old. the cheerleading is not going to be my future. It's not going to be my career. My career is going to be either I never knew, but I always was like some sort of entertainment. I know I'm going to be in some sort of entertainment or some sort of speaking. I was like maybe an anchor woman or maybe, I was.
That's what I thought I was going to do.
That's
too.
what I thought.
I went to school for broadcast journalism because I was like,
I have a communications degree.
Yeah. Like, what am I going to do? That's so funny.
Yes.
I feel like and also I also didn't realize that cheerleading wasn't going to be my future until I got my mental block because everybody in cheerleading, like it is their future.
It is
forever.
your future. It's the only thing you can think about.
It's the only thing.
It's it.
And so when I got my mental block, I was like, wait a second. And then now I always am like, why did nobody sit me down and be like, putting this 3-time national champion college cheerleader on a resume is going to mean nothing to anybody.
Nothing.
Ever.
And then for the rest of your life, people outside of your circle and people who saw how hard you worked and knew how stressful and how it was your whole life and you put everything into it, they're just going to go, oh, you were a cheerleader?
Yeah, totally.
And they're never going to like ever respect it the way that while you're in it, you think it is the biggest thing in the whole world. Because every coach makes it feel like the biggest thing in the whole world. But so at that time, I was like, I've got these two paths, and I thought I could do it all because I did it all in high school. I was doing all the, I was in pageants and I was cheerleading and it all made sense. Now I'm an adult and pressure and prefrontal cortex is starting to close up. And I'm like, I think I should put all of my time and effort into pageants instead. And so I did one of those things like, you can't fire me, I quit. And then I pulled myself from the team.
Wow.
And I think there was probably some like positive, like optimism, like some ignorant optimism in the back of my head that thought I will work on this and I'm going to work on this on the side and then I'll try out again next year. And maybe if I just pull myself out now, then I, can maybe get on next year and that's okay. And this year I'm just going to focus on the other stuff. And then I obviously never went back to cheerleading, which many times in my life I have said that my biggest regret was stopping cheerleading, quitting cheerleading because there's nothing like it. There's never been anything like it in my life ever, even close to it since. That type of, on stage,
it's like
the adrenaline is
rush, but yeah, I do feel like it's
but that kind of teamwork, like towards the same thing. And we're all like,
I feel like a stand-up festival is really similar to a cheerleading competition though.
Sure.
Like the backstage being like, I'm rooting for you, but I also want to win and I also want you to do well, but I want to hear my friend. Like, I don't know. I just feel like the like, I don't know. I
do love all of that, but like, you know what I mean though? Like the uniformity of like, we are all one. We are one thing. We are one entity. And like, you feel so close to all of these people that I really... Yeah, sure. I guess comedy. It all kind of makes sense.
Because comedy, you're on your own. But
right.
I feel like...
And you get the adrenaline rush on stage, and it's the same kind of thing of like prepping right before you get on the mat. And it's like once you're on stage, you're on the mat. Like there's I think those elements.
Stand-up because I'm not the same thing as everyone else. I wonder, like I feel like I feel the opposite. I'm like, I don't want to wear a uniform. I don't want to dress the same as everyone.
This ties into my story too. I agree. But I do miss that being a thing in my life. Like I love that comedy's different.
The same thing. I feel,
but I miss that. Like there was just something about it. Like when that many people are all like, there's so much energy. No one will ever understand. It's that passion.
Yeah. And it's also like you all have to work together or somebody is going to die.
That's literally true.
It's like so true. Like
every working part, like if one step in the wrong direction, like out of the formation or in a stunt, like, cause I was always a bass and and I took so much pride in being a bass. Cause I was like, this bitch is not hitting the floor. She's not hitting the floor. She will fall on my body before she falls anywhere else. I will do everything that I have to. And I've watched girls' teeth get knocked out.
Oh, yeah. And continue in the routine.
And keep going.
I was trying to find this video because years ago there were like a bunch of better cheerleading fail videos.
Yes.
Where like, and there's this one where this girl who was on like an all-star team, she gets her teeth knocked out and you literally see
watch the teeth go in the air.
Across,
I've watched it a million times.
But she keeps
She keeps
smiling,
going. Yes.
And like she at least smiles with her mouth closed.
Yes.
And she's like bleeding. And like when people would break their leg and keep going.
Yes.
Everybody it's like the whole auditorium of people starts cheering for that person to keep going. Like you're like a hero and an icon. And like you're just like doing the best thing you could possibly do at one time. And then you're like, wait, but like his leg is hanging off and he's continuing the routine. And like we're all being like, you got it. You're amazing. And I feel like it does breed a weird type of person.
It really does.
Where
Psychopaths.
I'm like, my husband's like, I don't feel good. I'm like, you don't feel good?
You don't feel good?
I'm like, you're sick.
And you just show the video of the girl's teeth like, just flying out of her
look
mouth.
Look at this girl.
Yeah. Trust me, on my team, we had a girl who had broken her arm and then they told her that she couldn't do like Dallas that year. They were like, you can't do the Dallas competition, like nationals or whatever that was. And she was like, all right. She went home and sawed her
cast off.
Her cast. I was like, it's healed.
That's amazing. That is so funny. I broke my ankle one year and I wasn't going to be able to go to nationals. And I was in high school. And I went in and I'd been like limping for 2 days. And then my sister hurt her ankle. My sister was really good and she's a year younger than me, but she was like the best one on our team. And of course my sister hurt her ankle right after I did. And then everybody was like, hurt Chelsea's ankle. So my mom was like, do you want to go to Chelsea's doctor's appointment she has to get a cast because she broke her ankle and have him just look at yours. And I was like, oh, I didn't finish my math homework, so I should just go. So I go. He looks at Chelsea's. He's like, hers is sprained. She doesn't need crutches. And he hands the crutches to me. And he's like,
broken.
yours is broken. And he's like, you will be using these crutches. Yeah. And I was like, what? Excuse me? No, I will not.
I will not.
And he's like,
you're wrong.
Yes, you will. And I was like, I'm not getting a cast put on my leg. And he's like, you have to. And then I was like, it won't fit over my jean, and my jeans won't fit over it. So I won't be able to do this today because I don't have, and I had to change pants with my mom.
Oh my
mom
God.
and I swapped pants because
hilarious.
her pants were looser around the leg. And I had to get a cast, and I wouldn't talk to anybody for like days. I was so mad.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't believe you made me get this.
Yeah.
Like,
that's hilarious. That's
like
that cheerleading mentality.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying is like, yes, we find that in comedy. Sure. There's the camaraderie and we're all going towards the same thing. We've all been through the same shit and all that, but it's not, there's just that insanity, that like psychosis that you're in when you're in that. I miss it. I also just miss the physicality of it. I think that's probably what I actually miss is because where else am I like,
I feel like I run every day since I stopped cheering because I was like, I have to move my body. And I'm like,
I want to
really
tumble,
religious about it.
I want to tumble and I want to throw people.
That's so,
I want to throw people in the air. I had a trampoline too. When I was married, I had a trampoline. I would just go out and just flip on my trampoline all the time.
When I get really stressed out, I just am like, if I feel like I'm gonna have a panic attack, I go jump on the trampoline and do a bunch of backdrops in a row. And then I'm like, okay, I feel better. Yeah. I can only still do a front handspring because I still won't flip backwards. It freaks me out.
Oh, you still have the block. I started recently. Yeah. Well, when I got the trampoline years ago, I did that. And then now I can do it anytime that I see a trampoline. It doesn't have to, like at one point it was only my trampoline that was in my yard. Then I could do it. And then, this past summer I was at a friend's house in Florida and I was just like, oh, there's a trampoline? Fuck it. Let me just do it, right?
That's so fun. I wish I could. I can barely even watch it without feeling like panicked in my body.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's so wild.
Yeah.
But yes, so I gave up that thing that I thought was my whole life to focus on the other thing that turned out to be way more helpful in my future life, in my career than anything else. Because when I did pageants, it paid for a lot of my college, obviously. When I had started college, I had that first title, but then over the next 4 years, I had gotten another, I went to Miss Georgia 4 times.
Wow.
And worked up to all of these other great, titles. And I spent those whole years that that anytime, I feel like I've said the word title like 800 times. So I'm trying to like find another word, but
it is a title.
But your title, you're actually called a title holder. That's what it is. You're not called a pageant queen, and nobody calls it that. A title holder. So, your local title holder, and
is pageant queen like a?
It's kind of like a slur.
Yeah. Okay.
Like a beauty queen is like. Now I happily use it these days because it's been so long, and it's the only thing people know. So it's if I cannot. I had to get over the earnest,
no, it's actually the system is and it actually pays more money than you think, and it's very good for you, and it helps you speak in front of people, and it's not what you think, and we wear swimsuits, but it's not like that. It's for fitness, and like, I did that for so long with people that I was like, fuck it, beauty queen. That's what it
so
is.
Funny.
Universe, Miss Universe, it's all the same. Yep, you're absolutely bouncing titties. That's it. You're right. We're so dumb. We're so stupid. Thank you so much. Yes, John Bonet. I knew her. Yep, great. Love
I'm
it.
actually at her house right now.
Yeah, exactly. Technically. Oh my God, I didn't get to say my dark thing.
Oh yeah, what's your?
We
dark
were talking
thing?
about Jean Benet Ramsey, and I was going to tell you something super
what's
dark.
your dark thing?
Okay, so when I was Miss Cobb County, there's like a director board, right, for every title. One of the pageant director members is a mortician. And he was the one who prepared her body because she's buried in Marietta because that's where her family, that's where her mother was from. So her mother's buried there and then she's buried there. And he was the one who had to prep her.
Wait, but did he prep her like a beauty queen?
That I don't know. I don't know.
Well, he was on a board of pageant queens and then he
was in the pageant. Yeah, because so that pageant,
so random,
that particular pageant is ran by this whole group of lovely, older, much older, sweet guys, most of them gay. And they all were part of the JCs, like in the 1970s. Okay. And the JCs, you know who the JCs are.
Jesus Christ. No. I don't know who the JCs are.
JAYCEES. It's like a civic organization. It's like...
Okay.
Like Civitan or not Civitan. Civitan would not be the one I'm thinking of.
This is so Southern Lace. Like, I feel like you're like...
But these are all over the country.
Okay,
this
I know,
is
but like...
You know who like the Shriners are? You know who those are? That's like another group like that. Oh my God. Okay.
I don't know these groups.
I had to spend all these years like going and speaking to all of these groups. Okay. So like Rotary Club.
Okay, another Rotary Club. Yeah. It's like Elks Lodge.
Like any of those kind of things. So the JCs was like that. It was like just a local organization of mostly men who would do some community outreach shit. Okay. And it was really probably an excuse for all of them to get together and drink and have...
And not put their kids to bed and like stay out.
Exactly. Yeah. So the JCs back in the 70s, they were looking for like a civic thing to do, like something for the community. And then they were like, well, we could sponsor the Miss Cobb County pageant. And
that is so like it's like, I can't come home tonight to help with the kids, but I am going to be sponsoring.
No, it's all old gay men.
Okay. Okay, that's fine.
So that's and I didn't want to like out any, most of them are still alive, but they're much older and not all of them are like publicly out, but it's a lot of like lovely gay men who that was their way of like being able to express themselves and like help. So they've been the runners of that pageant for many, many years, but one of them happens to be the guy who prepped her.
Wow. Oh gosh, that's so sad.
I know. It's so dark. It's so dark and really sad.
That is really sad.
And a weird connection to her. So anytime her name ever came up, because she was not technically from there, she didn't do pageants in Georgia. It was where was she, Colorado or something like that? And but they brought her back there because that was her family plot.
That is so wild.
So when you were there for Honest Fox, you could have gone and visited.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. That's so wild.
But it'd be hard to visit her because you are her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
So none of this is even real.
To visit her plot, people would think that I was just like
You should just hang around it.
Oh my God. This is so dark.
Just do ghost makeup. Just get some very sheer, get a sheer long veil.
And just like really like 3-barrel crimp my hair.
This is so bad.
I mean,
this is so bad. Yeah, you're not going to use any of this. We're going to cut
We are. We're using it all. We're using it all. That's so funny.
And please, I hope no one thinks I'm not.
We're not making fun of
at all. No, it's all. I think it's a horrible tragedy, but it is. I do have that weird connection to it, and I did come up in pageants, so you know, I get it. I get it.
Oh gosh, and I have that weird connection to it too.
I know
that really weird one.
The fact that you are her, yes, I know.
It is very weird. Talking about it. It's like I'm just gonna make sure I bring it up enough that it's impossible to edit it out because it won't track to what I said earlier.
AI will pick it up like on the internet and it'll start saying
Lace Larrabee didn't have a talent at her pageants
never had a
to
talent.
Be rebellious.
Lace Larrabee is talentless and Brittany Ross is jumping Ramsey.
That's what
AI
is.
Walton Goggins is Walmart. The heir to Walmart. Everyone knows all of these three things. So.
I feel like Oh my gosh.
You can't deny them.
We really did something. We really shifted the universe on this.
I felt a shift.
I did too. I feel like we changed pop culture. Like
this is butterfly and the butterfly effect.
Yeah, totally. We just changed 3 things right now. And like our lives will never be the same. Oh
my God, that's so funny.
So then when did you decide to stop doing pageants?
When I had to, when you age
25?
When they're like year olds.
I feel like 25 is when your
Gross.
prefrontal cortex is supposed to mature. So they probably were like 25.
Do you know I heard it's not actually till 27? Like there's some recent study, and also who knows?
I always like to say like mine matured early.
Yeah, mine was
and
done
I'm
at
like,
13.
what happened to the rest of my body? Just like, because I'm still waiting for that to mature. But my prefrontal cortex decided to like lock into place early. Like that seems wrong.
That's so funny. But yeah, so yeah, the Miss America system, you age out at 25. And here's what really sucked for me is I have my birthday is like so my birthday is December 31st.
Whoa.
So it's always like the deadline for like the cutoff date. So I told you how it works. Like you got to get a local title and then that takes you to the state and then that takes you to the national title. Well, you can't even compete in the local pageant if by the time you would get to the state, you would be already 25. So
Whoa.
I technically aged out at 23.
Whoa.
Because it was some weird thing with the cutoff date. It was like, if you're this age before this date or after this date or whatever it was, happened to be like my birthday.
Oh, that sucks.
And then, or it would have been like the day after. I'm mathing this very badly, but it was something along the, like, trust me, me and my mom had like all of everything laid out and like red yarn and like trying to do all of the, she's like, let's get the birth certificates out and see what time.
So
maybe
funny.
you were actually born January 1st, like whatever it was. We're trying to do the whole thing. And because we had always thought I had another year. We thought I had one more year. Because my last year at Miss Georgia, I was top 10. I was Miss Congeniality. I had gotten all these things and I was fine. Like I was on a roll and I was like, okay, the next one I'm either, I could win or I could be in the top 5 like the next year. And that's a lot more scholarship money. And it's kind of would be the culmination of all the years that I had put into the system and pain and money and tears and all that good stuff. And and then they switched it up that last year on me. And they switched the date where it hit me, like whatever it was.
That sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember the moment you found out?
Oh, 100%. I was freaking out. And my
Where
mom, mom actually might have seen the announcement first because, we were saying, you were like, oh, I got myself into pageants. And then my mom, it was like in her body to be a
like
stage
me?
mom.
Like I feel like I have to hold myself back.
Yeah, she had that feeling that you had, and she was just like, "Oh, okay." And then it became her whole, she was never like insane about. She wasn't like the ones like screaming on the sidelines. It was never that, but it was always like, "This is what you should wear. You should do this. This person." She was very strategic and very in my business. Like she was every little part of the pageant. Says she had a hand in, like, not in a bad way, but she was just
supportive. And
it was a lot. It was supportive, but it was sometimes I'd just be like, this is what I'm wearing. I'm doing like, I'm doing this thing and I don't need any more opinions.
Yeah.
Don't give me any more options. We're sticking to this. I don't care who else. And we get to the point too, where she'd be like, okay, well, in this one you're competing with so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. And they always talk about such and such. So you need to be better at this. And we got to work on your interview because that girl's better at interview. She won't interview this. And I'd be like, I don't ever want to talk about who I'm up against.
Oh my gosh, I want your mom in my life now.
Right.
I feel like now as an adult, you're like, that's exactly what we need.
Yeah. I'm like, could you go and do research?
Just research everybody else and find out like what the missing thing is like I should be talking about.
She was so good at it with pageants. Yeah, she's very like, but at
somebody
some
be
point,
like, wear this. This is
yes. Do this. This is what works here. This is what This is what this other person's doing. This person's the closest style to you, so you need to be doing this. And this person posts this many times, so you should probably post this many. You know what I mean? Like that's what I need her for right now. Actually, I need to call her.
Oh my gosh, call her right now.
Yeah,
Ginger. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so she was really
Is your
helpful.
Mom's name Ginger?
Ginger, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Ginger
and Lace. I know.
Ginger and Lace. I can't.
I know.
That's so sweet. I love that.
But yeah, so it was,
yeah, she was kind of in my world a little bit there. But I was saying something before that.
And then you stopped at, you found out.
Oh, yes.
You know where you
said,
were.
do I remember? Oh, of course. And I'm pretty sure Mama did. I'm pretty sure she saw it like on a message board. Because this is message board days, you know? And she like, they've changed the date and it looks like you're not going to have. And I was like, are you kidding? And then we tried to we looked at every single other way. We were like calling my directors. We were like, what is this? And how?
Where were you when she called you? Do you remember?
I was probably in college. I was probably,
oh my gosh. And all your friends.
Because I hadn't graduated yet. I took a couple of years off and went back to school. Or I took 1 year. I went 1 year and then I took a year off. Then I was trying to figure out what I was going to do in my life. Because I thought I was going to be famous. So why did I need to go to college anyway? But then I'm pursuing all the scholarship money for what? So then I was I got to use my scholarship
get it out of the college?
Can you just give it to me in cash?
Trade this in for,
Yeah. Can you
That's
just
so
Venmo it to me?
funny.
That'd be great. But anyway, yeah. So it was very stressful. And then
what was it like having friends in college and being in pageants?
Actually,
were you the only one?
It's weird because one of my very best friends in the entire universe, who's we consider each other family and we've been through everything, marriages, divorces, deaths of, family members and, everything together for the last 22 years. I met her because we were competing against each other in a pageant. Yeah. And she ended up being my literal ride or die. And she kind of did the same thing. She had started college at a different college in Atlanta. And then she took some years off and then she went back later and graduated. I did the same thing and we ended up both going to the same college. So
that's so fun.
Yeah. So my college friends, I didn't really hang out with people because I had quit cheerleading. So I wasn't really hanging out with the cheerleaders anymore. Those were my first buddies. And then it turned out to be my actual friend group ended up to be the people I did pageants with.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. I feel like whatever you're so fully into, it's you need somebody else to understand
absolutely
what you're doing.
It's the same thing now with the business. I mean, you know how it is. It's hard. It's hard to explain to anybody outside of the circus, what it's like. So
I feel weirdly my husband and I both I started doing so much more stand-up maybe when our daughter was 3, I kind of I had stopped during the pandemic because I was breastfeeding a baby on Zoom, doing Zoom shows. And I was what the hell am I doing? This is so sad. And I was I don't think I should be doing this. And then I went back and then I feel I have so many more stand-up. I just feel I'm always feel socially, I feel filled up because I see people all the time out.
Same.
And I'm I'm friends with these people. But my husband doesn't know all of them, but he also went back to school and got his master's and he's a therapist now, but he went to this school in Santa Barbara where they went once a month and stayed for 4 days at the school. So he has all of this whole other group of friends.
Yeah. They were probably in a cohort, if he was doing
they were in a
therapy.
Cohort.
Yeah.
And I love those
That's
friends.
what my best friend I was just talking about. So she had gone back to school and gotten her bachelor's and then she just went and she spent the last 3 years to becoming a therapist. So
yeah, that's what Marco did too.
Yeah.
And it is so funny though, because we both have these separate, we also have our normal, we have groups
normal
of friends.
Isn't that funny? How you're no, my regular friends. And then your comedy friends are probably some of your best friends in the world. You're but no, my normal friends.
Yeah, and I'm but they also I want them to know Marco too. I'm well, Marco, and so we do a backyard show at the house. We haven't done one in a while. We need to do it again. But
those are fun. I did a couple of those back in the day.
Yeah, it's so fun because I also feel Marco helps, he'll be around kind of and he hangs out and he's a big, he learned English listening to stand up. So he likes stand up, but he doesn't ever go anymore. I think I ruined it for him, but that's what is a wife supposed to do? Right. Except to ruin the things you love. But anyways,
that's so funny.
I feel that's fun for me because I'm I'm getting to merge my world somehow. But he also, we were even trying to be we should have a pool party for Memorial Day, and we're but who do we invite? These friends, friends, these school friends, these other friends,
Yeah, and you kind of want to meld them all. I mean,
yeah, but then you don't want to have them all like you do, but slowly. We decided the plan is to like slowly. We're like maybe 2 from each. Just do an experiment. Like 2 from each. I was like, I think we need to make little like mixes so that we can slowly introduce them all.
I don't know that that's going to happen in my world. So I've spent the last year with my girlfriend, and we had like, she's met all of my comedy friends, and she's always, you know, she'll be at shows and that. So she's like befriended all of them.
I thought she was a comedian too.
So she started, so we met because she took my stand-up class.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
But she doesn't want to pursue comedy.
Okay.
So that's great. But she is around. She like wants to, you know, she loves it and she's very good. She's an incredible writer and could be doing it more, but I've kind of spoiled her now because she has gone on the road with me and done like, you know, gone to clubs and she's like, oh, you just in a green room and people just bring you stuff. And like, and then I'm like, well, if you want to keep doing this, you want to get better at it, you want to memorize your jokes, like you've got to be on stage like 5 times a week, you got to do open mics. And she went and did a couple of open mics. She's like, this sucks. What? Nobody's giving you free stuff. And this is so much more fun to like fly somewhere and go be. And I'm like, I know. But it took me a long time to get here. So if you want to do this, you gotta, you know, so she does love it. I just don't think that she's ever going to like rip the cord and like actually go and get down and like, you know, in the scene and like do it.
Totally.
But she's around comedy and people offer her spots all the time around town. So she can do it anytime she wants. But, you know, I'm like, if you want to work towards like a longer set than 5 minutes, you've got to like, you got to do it.
Go out and do it. Yeah.
She's like, it's so hard to remember my jokes. I'm like, yeah, because you've been on stage once in a month. I was like, so you got, that's why. Why is it so hard? I'm like, because you're not doing it. Because we're cuddling and we're binge watching a whole fucking series instead of you going out and doing open mics like you should right now.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yes, she is doing a little, but she's not like, you know, she doesn't have to keep doing it. But her friend group is this entire, has such a great, solid like group of friends, and they've all have all these years together doing all of these things. They've got all this, you know, and I don't know that we would ever be able to like
merge your friends.
It's such a different, because you got to hang out with comics at comedy shows. Yeah,
because it's like you're never going to go out at night with them unless you're at a show.
That's right.
And then I told Marco, it's like, because you know, we don't get to go out at night together very much anymore because also if I'm going to be home 2 nights of the week, I want to be like home. Because I want to also like hang out with the kids and like, not that I don't hang out with them because like I kind of get to leave around when they go to bed, but it's also a difference of like leaving around when they go to bed or like being here to like do bedtime and like all that kind of stuff. And then I'm like, I just want to like get in my bed and do nothing. And then I feel guilty like making an extra plan on
those only few nights that you actually have. Yeah, exactly.
And then I'm like, well, I still also need to see my husband because me and Marco try and talk. And then our daughter's like, can I be part of the conversation? We're like, you're 6. And like, no. And she's like, what does that mean? And we're like, we're actually just trying to talk about, but I also understand like she's sitting at the dinner table. We should be talking about things that everyone can talk about at dinner. So then I'm like, when do I talk to my husband? Yeah. And I was like, you want to just like plan like every Wednesday we have a babysitter, and if I have a show, you just come with me. And then we just go somewhere after, or we go, you know, I can like.
Or if
like,
you don't have a show, you'll just go do a dinner date. Yeah, you just go out.
And he's like, I honestly don't really want to come to your shows. I was like, okay. I thought you would just be like, I'll hang out with you however. Like in the car, that sounds fun. Like we can talk. We can actually talk about the kids.
Romantic
and
plan.
I was like,
and he's
what?
Like, no.
He's like, I've done that. And like, I just don't. Like a lot of times he'll go like grab a snack or something and not go into the show. I'm like, you don't even have to come in, you know?
Sure, yeah.
Like, but I'd rather you not come in.
And I know this is going to, I tell her this all the time, but we're still in the phase of she loves coming to every show that I do. If she doesn't have something else scheduled or to do or whatever, and if it's in town, you know, she's like, I'm coming. I'm getting ready to go to show. She's like, okay, she'll get ready. And I'm like, are you sure you want to yeah, I will. And she loves it. And she's great at socializing.
That's fun.
She has a higher social battery than I do. And so if I need to power down, then she can like handle all the chit chatting, and which is fantastic. But I'm like, this ain't going to last. You're not going to keep, you're not going to feel this way about comedy forever. There's going to be the day that she's like, I really don't want to go to your show tonight. And I'm like, you're going to get over this. Like, you're not going to. And she's like, no, it's great every time. It's so fun. And then I see you switch jokes up. And even if you do the same ones, you're adding stuff and you're changing your bits. And I love to see everybody else's jokes. I'm like, okay. That's
wow,
cute.
she's like a real fan.
I feel like she is. And she's a great laugher. She's like the one you want in the room that's like laughing. And I'm like, I don't know if this is going to. This might just be a honeymoon phase with comedy, not with the relationship, but with comedy. I'm like,
yeah. Well, I didn't even, I feel like you met her like after, it must have been like right after I saw you last.
If we probably, because our 1 year anniversary is tomorrow.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, it's tomorrow?
So cool.
What day is tomorrow? 8th, 9th? It's the 9th.
I have no, okay.
The 9th, whatever. But we were already dating for like 2 months before that, but that was the official like, will you be my girlfriend thing.
Love that. And is she
at a
your
Brandy
first
Carlisle
girlfriend?
and Alanis Morissette concert, of course.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. She's your first girlfriend, though.
Yeah, first. Like,
and did that surprise you?
Girlfriend?
No,
I let everybody I ever dated know that I was bi. Like that was that was never. But I was unfortunately married for I was in a long-term relationship for so long.
So it surprised more people.
Everyone else,
people,
yes,
but not you.
But not me. No.
I love that.
I'd always known that I was like, well, if I was single, I would be dating everybody. Like I knew that. But then I was kind of locked up in this one thing for a very long time.
Yeah.
So
I love this for you. You're like in a totally different place.
Yes.
You know you're staying in Atlanta. You're with somebody you love.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's so cool to see, like in a year.
Yeah. It's, I do. And now I do 100% feel like this is what I should have been doing the whole time. So that's kind of hard too. There's been a lot of like, oh, what was I doing for all of those years?
No, but I feel like you
realize you're gayer than you think you are. Like, like when you, that sucks.
But like, you'll
but
find
I can't do anything
about
anything in the past.
And like,
I have been. I've been
like
trying to like work it out. Everybody's like, oh, but you got so much more material now. I'm like, it's so hard to write when you're happy. It was so much easier to write when I was miserable, right? Like, so, that's been, but I'm getting there. I'm writing some more and more and more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, I'm so happy I got to see you.
I'm so happy
this was so fun that you were in town.
I mean, the microphones and cameras apart, this just was a really nice
catch up. Just to like hang out. I know. Where do you have anything you want to like promote? Like you're on tour all the time.
All the time. Like. Yeah. I'm never, and maybe I need to start doing this. I don't know if you ever do it this way, but I see like other comics, they'll be like, I'm on the such and such tour. And it's just like all their dates they have coming up. And I'm like, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should like, but I just feel like I'm
name your dates.
Yeah. Like I'm just always on the road. Like I'm just always working. It's not like.
That's what everybody's doing, but they're on a tour.
Yeah. They're like, but I'm not like leaving the house and gone for months at a time. I've always got dates. So.
And people can find your dates.
They can find my dates at Lace Larrabee on anything, on all of the social medias.
Great.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
But this was so nice.
This was so nice.
Thank you for doing it.
I hope I covered all the stuff. I hope we went over
I think we changed the world.
I know. No, I know that we changed the world.
I think we covered it.
But I hope we covered like the topic of the
for
day.
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, cool. I feel like only like a cheerleader who it's like, so I excelled at XYZ and this and that, and I'm still like, I should be doing more, would be like, did I cover all the topics?
Did you hit back all of the things that I
do everything I possibly
to hit all of
could.
My marks. Yeah.
It's like it's such a I like see like I feel you on that.
Yeah. But
I love
ultimately, I did all of that, and then it all led to the best thing, which is this world that I'm in now. So
it's so cool. I love it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I love it. Well, go see Lace if you can. If she's in your town, you'd be lucky to see her. It's true. You're so fun on stage.
So are you.
Thanks, guys. Bye.